They walk among us seemingly ordinary people living ordinary lives, but beneath the surface, a dark secret festers. They are the targeted individuals, the prey in a sinister game of cat and mouse. These individuals, often outspoken, whistleblowers, or simply inconvenient, have been singled out. They are subjected to a terrifying reality known as gangstalking. Gangstalking is not a figment of an overactive imagination. It is a chilling form of psychological warfare waged against unsuspecting citizens. This relentless campaign of harassment uses a combination of psychological manipulation, surveillance, and sabotage. Its goal is to silence, discredit, and ultimately break the target. Victims of gangstalking often find themselves trapped in a nightmare. They are followed, their homes are vandalized, and their lives are turned upside down. Their every move is tracked, their every word scrutinized. The perpetrators, hidden in plain sight, are relentless. The emotional toll on the targeted individual is immense. The constant fear, paranoia, and isolation can be unbearable. Many victims are driven to the brink, their lives left in ruins. The world once familiar and safe has transformed into a hunting ground, and they are the prey. Who orchestrates these elaborate campaigns of fear? The answer lies in the shadows, shrouded in secrecy. The perpetrators of gangstalking are often difficult to identify. They could be government agencies operating outside their legal boundaries. They could be private security firms with powerful clients. They could even be loosely organized groups with sinister agendas. These puppet masters employ a range of psychological techniques to torment their victims. One common tactic is street theater. This involves strangers staging seemingly random events designed to send a message or evoke a reaction from the target. Another method is gaslighting, where the perpetrators manipulate the target's environment to make them doubt their own sanity. Sleep deprivation is a favorite tool. Perpetrators use bright lights, loud noises, and other disturbances to disrupt the target's sleep patterns. This leads to exhaustion, confusion, and an inability to function normally. The goal is to weaken the target's resolve and make them more susceptible to manipulation. These tactics are not random acts of cruelty. They are part of a calculated strategy designed to break the target's spirit and silence their voice. The perpetrators are masters of manipulation, pulling the strings from the shadows while maintaining plausible deniability. Gangstalking thrives in darkness. The perpetrators rely on secrecy to operate with impunity. One of their primary objectives is to control the flow of information. They understand that if the truth about their activities were to come to light, it could trigger public outrage and lead to their exposure. To prevent information from spreading, the perpetrators engage in a sophisticated campaign of disinformation and censorship. They plant false stories in the media, discredit whistleblowers, and pressure internet platforms to remove any mention of gangstalking. This control over information extends to the very language used to describe gangstalking. Terms like conspiracy theory and mental illness are weaponized to discredit victims and dismiss their claims. This effectively silences those who might speak out, creating an environment of fear and self-censorship. The perpetrators exploit the public's trust in authority and their skepticism towards the unfamiliar. They understand that most people are reluctant to believe in conspiracies. They count on this disbelief to maintain their cover and continue their operations unchecked. Section 4: Gatekeepers, Guardians of Deception. In their quest to control the narrative, the perpetrators rely on a network of gatekeepers. These are individuals in positions of power and influence who act as guardians of the secrets. They could be journalists, politicians, academics, or even mental health professionals. Gatekeepers often have personal or professional ties to the perpetrators. They may be motivated by ideology, greed, or fear. Whatever their reasons, they play a crucial role in maintaining the wall of silence surrounding gangstalking. One of their primary functions is to discredit victims. They dismiss their experiences as delusions, paranoia, or mental illness. They may even go so far as to diagnose victims with psychiatric disorders, further isolating them and undermining their credibility. Gatekeepers also act as a barrier between the victims and those who might be able to help. They discourage law enforcement from taking reports of gangstalking seriously. They pressure families and friends to abandon their loved ones who claim to be targeted. In essence, they act as enablers, protecting the perpetrators and perpetuating the cycle of abuse. Section 5: The Price of Silence, Hush Money and Honey Traps. Maintaining secrecy comes at a price. The perpetrators of gangstalking use a variety of methods to buy silence and ensure the cooperation of their collaborators. Hush money is a common tactic. Victims who are deemed a threat to exposure may be offered large sums of money in exchange for their silence. This money often comes with strings attached, such as non-disclosure agreements and threats of retaliation if the agreement is broken. Another tactic is the use of honey traps. This involves using attractive individuals to seduce and compromise targets. The goal is to gather incriminating information that can be used for blackmail or to discredit the target if they ever speak out. These tactics are particularly effective against individuals in positions of power or influence. The fear of financial ruin or public humiliation can be a powerful motivator for silence. The perpetrators understand this and use it to their advantage, ensuring that their secrets remain buried. Section 6. The invisible cage: surveillance beyond comprehension. The digital age has provided the perpetrators of gangstalking with an unprecedented arsenal of surveillance tools. Gone are the days of shadowy figures trailing targets in unmarked vans. Today, surveillance is often conducted remotely using a combination of high-tech gadgets and sophisticated software. Smartphones, once symbols of connection and freedom, have become tools of oppression. They can be remotely accessed and transformed into listening devices, transmitting the target's every conversation to the perpetrators. Social media platforms designed to connect people are now used to track their movements, monitor their communications, and profile their personalities. Facial recognition technology, once the stuff of science fiction, is now a reality. It allows the perpetrators to track their target's movements in real time, even in crowded public spaces. Drones, once limited to military applications, are now readily available and can be equipped with high-resolution cameras and other sensors, providing the perpetrators with a bird's-eye view of their targets' lives. This constant surveillance creates an invisible cage, trapping the target in a panopticon of their own existence. They are never truly alone, never free from the watchful eyes of their tormentors. This constant scrutiny takes a heavy toll on their mental and emotional well-being, eroding their sense of privacy and autonomy.